Mabuhay pageant fans! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hey, Adam G. So guys, we are almost at the finish line on Miss Grand International as the coronation night is finally happening next Tuesday. But before that, the national costume competition took place the other night with all the contestants showcasing their stunning national costumes. And today's content is all about my top picks for this event. So which girls made it in my top picks? Well, here we go. So before I review my top picks, I would like to comment on the technical aspects of the show muna. As usual, everything was glossy. The stage was huge for the girls to showcase their national costumes on stage. The voiceover guy, kung napansin nyo, was very good to listen at as the pronunciation and enunciation of the words were very clear. And it turned out that the voice-over guy pala is a Filipino DJ working in Thailand. So that's one shining element adding value to the show talaga. However, on the debit side, the LED background design of the show with those flower designs, which kind of reminds me of the sakura cherry blossoms in Japan, did not complement the costumes of the girls on stage. I feel it washed them out on stage. And add to the problem were the camera angles or shots done for the show. There were no close-up shots of the costumes for us to appreciate the fine and intricate details of the costume. But other than that, everything was great. So here we go. Here are my top 12 picks. At my number 12 spot is Hirilis Jimenez national costume from Spain. You know what? Who wants some drag queen costume here? Ako, well, I've never thought about it before, but it's still pala could work on stage, especially with Miss Grand, inspired on the drag queen from the Carnival of Gran Canaria, the island where Miss Grand Spain comes from. Well, this costume has a huge gigantic butterfly wings to represent its metamorphosis. However, I wish Miss Spain could have given more life to her presentation by moving more and making those exaggerated moves on stage, like how we would usually see drag queens on TV shows, right? And the drag makeup, I wish I could say something more about it as there was no closer camera shots for me to appreciate the artistry of her team. And next on my list is Roberta Tamondong's national costume from our country. You know what? What a national costume our very own Roberta Tamondong presented for her Natcos in this year's pageant. She took inspiration from Purificacion Villanueva y Garcia, our very first Manila Carnival queen back in 1908. And for a lot of us Filipino pageant fans, there is always a sense of nostalgia every time this Carnival queen theme is being used for our national costumes as it signals our love affair or dates back our love affair with beauty pageants, which was brought to us by the Americans during that time. For her part, napansin niyo Roberta, and so Roberta deemed it wise to reintroduce this Unang Reina theme again in relation to her bid to become our first Miss Grand title holder. For me, it is such a beautiful and creative creation of this theme with a total of, grabe, 7,000 pearls lang naman adorning all over her colorful costume. From her bodysuit to her yellow flower-inspired backdrop, everything is a modern interpretation of our first Carnival Queen. Everything was just stunning on her photos, and it was even more stunning in motion. However, the execution left me quite disappointing as I saw she had a hard time walking on her platform heels, which was probably so heavy she could not execute it fluidly. Hence, she lost those money shots or footages towards the end of her presentation. The theme was great, no doubt, but in a pageant like Miss Grand where it gives so much premium on performance, well, this could pale in comparison with the others. But other than that, everything was great. Ang galing lang din. Roberta was really a pro in handling her situation during her NatCos segment. And now we go to my top 10 list, and number 10 on my list is Amber Sydney from Australia. I really love this pink cockatoo inspired national costume of Miss Australia. It literally is the most beautiful national costume I've seen of an Australian delegate in an international competition. The pink cockatoo pala, upon research, is one of Australia's most iconic bird species. It is a stunning species, both male and females, displaying soft pink white plumage and a distinctive bright red, yellow, and white crest. And Miss Australia's depiction here of it is so beautiful, with those wide array of soft colors like pink and violet that are so refreshing to one's eyes. While Miss Australia just walks, she just let her entire costume do the talking, especially with the birds flapping, with the birds' wings flapping on the baton. I really, really love it. Now we go to my ninth spot, and I'm giving it to Mariana Bekova from Czech Republic. I super love this sexy gold national costume of Miss Czech Republic, which is inspired by the linden tree, which is not only considered a typical tree in Czech Republic pala, but a sacred and universal tree rin pala, which has been revered in her country since ancient times. As you can see, the staff that she is holding represents the tree that has apparently many medicinal effects pala that help in the fight against diseases. But if there is only one thing I have to nitpick though, I didn't see the importance why she had to perform an acrobatic movement for her presentation towards the end, as I find it very unnecessary. But then again, since this pageant loves and adores anything grand or extra, well, I do get the sudden move. However, even without that acrobatic movement, Czech's beautiful golden costume would have sufficed. And now we go to my eighth spot, and I'm giving it to Shirley Yu's national costume from China. You know what? I really love to see candidates wear traditional national costumes of their country amidst all these fantasy costumes. But this time, Miss China gave it a modern interpretation or twist. So for China's Dragon Empress national costume here, it really screams tradition, authenticity, and culture from head to toe, especially with a showcase of all the popular elements we have come to know about Chinese history and culture. Nakaka-relate talaga ako kasi I'm part Chinese. Dragon, yung robe niya, the Empress robe, and the color red, which, if you combine all together, brings so much power and prosperity to the person wearing it. And who knows, might bring luck to China come coronation night on Tuesday. And now we go to my seventh spot, and I'm giving it to Janet Leiva from Peru. You know what? Yet another costume depicting a mythical bird in her home country, but still never gets old. One look at Peru's national costume, and it really looks grand from head to toe with that golden color employed in this national costume. Her gigantic wings also has a life of its own, I feel like, diba? With those bird caricatures moving towards each other every time she moves on stage. But what I love about this costume more is that it's made of recyclable materials. How one makes such great national costumes from recyclable materials still amazes me up until this day. So kudos to Peru's designers for pulling this off. And now we go to my sixth spot, and I'm giving it to another Latina, who is Laura De Sanctis from Panama. You know what? I am so digging Miss Panama's fantasy costume here, which is called the gold of Cerro Quema, sorry. The costume is inspired by Mother Nature guarding the treasures which exist in her hometown. And what I love about this costume is that it's a showstopper on its own from head to foot. It's literally dripping gold with that handmade dress made of the finest materials, including Swarovski crystals, nakita nyo, in a variety of colors, and would you believe 16 flower-shaped brooches. But more than the visual spectacle or the details, it's really her execution that makes her a memorable one here, as she evokes so much enigma or mystery in this costume. That headdress was just so exquisite. And now we go to my top 5, and number 5 on my list is Mi Kansuda from Myanmar. Well, does anyone know here who doesn't like Myanmar's national costume performance a night ago? I thought it was definitely a celebration of her culture. She just looks so authentic with her national costume, which gave us a sneak peek of her country's culture and heritage. For her performance the other night, she started out performing puppetry dance, which is a popular form of entertainment in her country dating back from the 15th to 17th century. The puppetry dance pala served for royal entertainment and religious storytelling tradition. And then, there's another part, the second half of her performance. She removed her mask and puppet outfit to reveal an elegant queen, revealing another facet of their culture. Di ba sa kanila, their queen is a revered figure who symbolizes the various beautiful ethnicities of her homeland. So, what a performance right there. There is a storyline in that performance, and I really enjoyed it. And now we go to my fourth spot, and I'm giving it to the Milola Borilande from Nigeria. Well, I super love Nigeria's authentic warrior-inspired national costume, which is inspired by the strength and spirituality of her country's tribal goddesses. Two of which of their greatest female deities, Oya and Ala. As Nigeria presented her national costume on stage, you could feel Demilola's quiet strength and power in showcasing her tribal dance. And then, if you look at the ensemble is also visually appealing with so many colors popping out as a result of a combination of different colors of leather, feathers, mesmerizing beads, and detailed mermaid-inspired and arranged feathers on the headgear, wristband, ankle bands, and thigh bands. Just wow. Even the hand is embellished with cowries, feathers, and a lot of accessories talaga. So talagang just wow. So if you look at it, there is just so much ingenuity on this costume, which I feel gave me a sneak peek of her country's culture here. And now we go to my third spot, and I'm giving it to Engfa Waraha from Thailand. Oh, what a fun and creative way to showcase your culture on stage. Miss Thailand's national costume performance is such a delight to watch with Engfa's performance on stage. Her national costume is inspired by Hanuman Thai boxing, which is more known for its hand gestures, and she made sure we saw that on stage, even though her face was wholly covered all the time by a creature headdress all throughout. And for a moment, her gestures were reminiscent of a typical boxer who just won his bout over his opponent, which kinda is giving me a preview of already of things to come on October 25, right? So let's see. And now we go to my runner-up position, and I'm giving it to the host delegate, Andina Judy from Indonesia. If there is one candidate who performed incredibly well during the event the other night, it's Andina Julie, the host delegate. She really did not disappoint her audience with her national costume performance, which is inspired from a traditional performance dance art of her country. So the operative word there is dance. So she really performed to the best of her ability to showcase her country's culture through that performance. And just when I thought that she would be carrying her huge colorful lion backdrop to aid her presentation, she cleverly ditched it, used the whip to demonstrate the struggle of her character and maximize the entire stage with her performance instead. So I really enjoyed it. Well done, Indonesia. And now we go to my top pick, and she is from United Kingdom, Sophia Myers. Out of all the national costumes I saw last night, United Kingdom Sophia Myers' performance is the one that I truly enjoyed the most. Sobra. I mean, she really came out with a costume that really reflected her country's national treasure, or hallmark site, which is the Royal Albert Hall, known for a building for celebrating arts in her country. And upon research, it's built to fulfill the vision of Prince Albert, the husband of Queen Victoria, to be used to promote understanding and appreciation for the arts and sciences. And so, Sophia literally walked in her billowing Royal Albert design structure and did a ballet dance to showcase as soon as she got out from her opening skirt costume for the big reveal. I thought this was so cleverly done with a combination of culture and performance perfectly suited for a pageant like Miss Grand. So, ang ganda lang talaga ng kinalabasan. So there you go, guys. What do you think about my list? Actually, I can still add more names here on my list whom I feel really presented great national costumes as well, like Vietnam, Honduras, sino pa, Cambodia, Mauritius, and even Germany. So guys, did I get every girl right here on my list? Well, let me know your thoughts down below, and I hope to see you all on my next live chat session with you tonight, right after the preliminary competition. Kita-kits guys! Until my next video. Bye!